Hi everyone and welcome to my vlog. For those who are new here, my name's Nikki, I'm an author and an editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. Today's video is in the latter category because it's time to give you a bit of a roundup of what I have been watching in the cinema, on streaming, TV, etc. during the month. Now, apologies first of all for the quality of the video today. I'm having to film from my webcam rather than my camera set up in my lounge because of several reasons. My husband had a period of several night shifts, which meant he was sleeping during the day the last few days, so I couldn't do anything noisy like sitting here talking. And I then thought I would film tomorrow when he goes back to day shifts. However, I quickly realised that I had a dentist appointment right in the middle of the day, which was going to make it hard to film, edit and post as I needed to. And then my husband had also booked the gardener, the lawnmower man, to come tomorrow as well, which means he'll be driving an incredibly noisy mower around at some point during the morning. So with all these things against me, I thought the only way to do it was to film with the webcam today, because my husband's sitting in the lounge with the TV on, his laptop going, so I can't set up in my reading room and do it. So apologies, we'll make the best of it, and I shall hopefully be back to filming in the library with a slightly nicer backdrop and better quality next month. Without any further ado though, let me crack on. I've got my bullet journal here, so I've got all my notes to tell you what I've been seeing, what I've been enjoying during July. So cinema first. I've been to the cinema 4 times in July. First off, I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is what I went to with hubby, and I gave it 3 stars. It was a perfectly okay film. Just as a bit of entertainment, it was amusing enough, plenty of action. However, I'm getting to the point where I feel like they've kind of run out of ideas in the Jurassic Park films. They're all starting to film pretty much the same. I mean, as you may know from if I've mentioned the previous one before, I'm not keen on the way they've neutered the raptors in this new set of films. I always found the raptors really scary, and I thought they were the best as the scariest creature, but now they've kind of been made that they'll obey orders to an extent, and in the meantime we have to have a bigger and more scary creature every time. But it doesn't really work. I mean, this creature in this one, which was I can't remember what they called it, but it was the blend of the Indominus Rex and the raptor, and it was supposed to be the most intelligent creature ever in dinosaurs, and yet they put it in a cage where you could open the cage just with a simple little rod kind of mechanism, and it's like, if the creature's that intelligent, I really think it would have worked out how to open that cage by now. I bemoaned the stupidity of most of the characters, like that hunter who goes in the cage when he has just shot it once and just assumes it's dead. It's like, if you're a hunter, wouldn't you have a bit more caution than that? You totally deserve to die, dude. Sorry, that was a spoiler. Hope you've all seen it, but you totally deserve to die. So while it was entertaining, it's not one I rave about, and I'd rewatch it if it was on TV and I was maybe doing some sewing at the same time or something, but I kind of feel like it has run its course, that franchise. Next up, some MCU fun with Ant-Man and the Wasp. This was a 4-star watch for me. There's never been a Marvel movie that I haven't enjoyed. However, this one wasn't one that would make it into my top 10. It was entertaining. I liked the way it led on from the previous film. I liked the way the ending caught up with the events of Infinity War. There was plenty of great action sequences. The shrinking running along the blade of the knife, awesome sequence. But it's not one of my absolute top ones, so it was very enjoyable as always. Good on Marvel. I don't think I've ever given a Marvel film, MCU film, less than 4 stars, and if they keep up the excellent quality they've been doing, then I probably won't ever. But it wasn't one of my absolute top Marvel picks. The next one I saw is a complete change of pace, and it's called Disobedience. And this was a 3.5-star watch for me. The basic premise of the film is that Rachel Weisz's character, she's grown up in a Jewish, very close-knit Jewish community in London. However, she's a lesbian, and she begins a relationship with a friend, only to be discovered, at which point she leaves the country, goes off to America, severs most of her ties with her family. When her father dies, it brings her back to England, and she discovers that this girl that she had the relationship with has now married her best friend. And being back together again, sparks fly, and it's kind of a drama essentially looking at the idea of freedom of choice, and I think the trouble I had with the film, the performances are great. I mean, it is a wonderful cast, big name cast. They all do very good performances with the material they're given. But the film as a whole was too aware of itself. It knew that it was trying to be this, you know, really deep, thought-provoking piece, and that came across, which kind of ruined. I think if they'd stepped back and not been so self-aware, it would have worked better. Finally, another 3.5 stars for Mary Shelley, the biopic about the writer. I really wanted to love this film because it's a period drama. I adore period dramas. However, I did struggle because I thought the men's performances were good. Tom Sturridge does brilliant Lord Byron, for example. However, Elle Fanning as Mary Shelley didn't 100% work for me. I just didn't feel a lot of passion from her character. It fell a little bit flat, and I kind of left the film wondering what it was trying to achieve and what it had been aiming for it. And I think that was a problem for it. I think the period drama, it looks sumptuous, as wonderful as always, but I just didn't think the film had a strong focus for what it was trying to do. So moving on to what I've been watching in some streaming films. Now, we've only got 3 this month, and all of these were, I think, yes, on Netflix. I nearly said NetGalley then, thinking about books already. I'm filming the book one in a minute. Netflix. So first of all, I watched Set It Up, which is a rom-com, and I'm not a big rom-com fan, but I kept hearing how great this was, and so I thought, well, I'll give it a go. It was okay. It was amusing. It had some funny moments, but I kept hearing how it was breaking ground and it was like a revitalisation of the rom-com, but to me it was just an average American rom-com still. I didn't think there was anything that fantastic about it. It's probably a 3-star for me. It was entertaining enough to watch once. It's not something I'd ever watch again. That's about it, really. Next up, Bridget Jones's Baby. I kind of felt I ought to watch this one. I've seen the first 2. I figured I ought to finish it off and see how the trilogy ended. It was okay. Again, I mean, this is probably another 3-star for me. It was entertaining enough. I thought it had a slightly different slant that made it better than the second film. The first film was very good. I enjoyed the first film. The second one fell a little bit flat, and this one I thought picked up a tiny bit, but it's kind of everything's expected. You kind of know what's happening before it happens, and it's one I'm glad I saw once just to finish it off, but I'm not bothered about ever watching it again. And finally, I watched a sci-fi piece called Tau, which was recommended to me by my friend Alina. I'd been sort of half eyeing it up and wondering whether to give it a try, and she recommended it. And I'm glad I did. This is probably a 4-star watch for me. Essentially, a woman is kidnapped and is trapped in a house that's run by an AI. And the only way she can escape is to outwit this AI. So it was very clever. I liked the premise. I liked the way they dealt with the AI, particularly the growing relationship between him and the trapped woman. And all in all, it was a very enjoyable sci-fi action film with a bit of a psychological twist. So moving along to what I've been watching in terms of TV. So again, I haven't got that many this month. I watched season 2 of Luke Cage first on Netflix. This is probably 4 stars for me. I actually enjoyed this a lot more than the first season of Luke Cage. I didn't hate the first season, but I kind of felt that the storyline got swamped in the message it was trying to put across. There was a very strong Black Lives Matter message in the first series, which, you know, before you all jump down my throat, I'm really in favour of that. I think it's awesome, but I also think it kind of overshadowed everything else that's happening. In the second series, I thought the storyline was much stronger. I liked the addition of his father and that relationship. Shades was my favourite character in the first series, and he remained so in the second series. I thought what they did with him was quite interesting, although it looks like potentially he's not going to be coming back again with the way they ended his story arc this season. And all in all, it was pretty enjoyable. He's not my favourite of the Netflix Marvel heroes. I tend to be partial to Daredevil most, but overall it was enjoyable. Great to see some more MCU action on Netflix. Next up on Netflix, I watched season 10 of Doctor Who, and for me this was just a matter of deciding I'd catch up, because I'd seen up to series 9, but I've kind of lost interest in it a little bit, I have to say. I loved the David Tennant years, the Matt Smith years, but I've never really gotten into Peter Capaldi. And I don't know why, it's not an age thing. It doesn't bother me that he's older than those previous two, because I used to watch all the really old Doctor Who's when they were all older anyway. It's just something about his characterisation of the Doctor just never really gelled with me. And season 9 was an improvement on season 8, which is why I thought I'd give season 10 a try, and overall it was fine. Some episodes I loved. I did like the one with the superhero theme, which I think was the 2016 Christmas special. That was really cleverly done, I thought. And there were other episodes during season 10 that I enjoyed, but overall it was only average for me. I am interested to see what will happen when season 11 comes out. I still haven't seen the 2017 Christmas special yet, so I will need to catch up on that. But I'm interested to see what Jodie Whittaker will do with it, and how having a female Doctor will affect the show, how it will work. I think that could be really interesting. So I won't say that I won't watch anymore, but I am kind of glad that the Capaldi years are over. And finally, I did a rewatch on DVD that I own of the Scarlet Pimpernel BBC 6 episodes they did over 2 series, with Richard E. Grant as the Scarlet Pimpernel. These are always enjoyable. Every now and again I just feel in the mood for them and we do a rewatch. My husband quite enjoys them too, so it's one we can watch together. That's really all I've got to share at the moment. I am watching season 4 of Poldark, which will finish in a couple of weeks, so I will be sharing my thoughts on that one with you next time. And also I'm in the middle of a bit of a Buffy and Angel rewatch. On TV they've been showing Buffy, and I sort of picked up that it was on and was watching a few episodes, but only getting a couple of episodes a week was annoying me, so I swapped back to my DVDs, and at the moment I've finished up to the end of season 3 of Buffy, and I'm currently on season 2 of Angel. My husband's more into Angel than Buffy, which is why we've kind of jumped straight to season 2 of Angel without picking up season 4 of Buffy first, but eventually my aim, by the end of the year at least, is to finish rewatching all of Buffy and all of Angel. So I'll probably wait until I've finished the entire thing and just give you my thoughts on those once I've finished each of the whole series, of all the seasons of both of them. So that's it for me for now. There's a few movies I'm hoping to see at the cinema in August, such as the Black K Klansman, the Spike Lee with Adam Driver, and Submergence also looks quite good, so I definitely want to try and see those 2 at least. There's a couple of others that are maybes, so we'll see how things work out. I don't have any major Netflix plans at the moment, but we'll see what ends up coming on there in the next few weeks. I will end there for now, but I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with my book wrap-up for the month, so I hope you'll join me then. If you don't subscribe and you've enjoyed this video, click on the little bell, click on the subscribe button. All my other info to follow me on social media is below. Bye for now, everyone, and I'll see you again very soon.